happened to Debo at the end of the movie? He got hit with a brick. Debo might get hit with a brick. Talk some Latins. Nah, don't pick on them. Pick on me. Keep picking on Craig, and you gonna figure out what's gonna happen. Gonna get hit with a brick. And I ain't playing. You know I ain't playing. Hit with a brick.
Ain't underrated all time. Probably Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko is underrated because I feel like he fought outside of his weight class. Like he fought at 135 when he's really like a 126 pounder. But people discredit him because he lost the big fights against a lot of bigger fighters. So he didn't really get a chance to fight at his weight class. He should be fighting against guys like Anyway and not Teofimo and Devin and shit. So he's underrated to me.
Why didn't it take 72 hours for the test to come back, right?
Came back after the fight, yeah.
Right. So why didn't come out that Tuesday or that week next? They waited till Canelo fight to push that he had something in his drug. Then once they pushed that, Devin and them was on ESPN that night promoting that he was. It's all in. I'm telling you.
What about your thoughts on Victor Conte being about what Ryan said?
That you drained up the version that fought Devin would beat you easily. He also said,
bro, go look at Ryan fight and go look at Ryan versus Devin and go look at my fight versus versus Ryan. And you can tell that Ryan didn't look no different. If he looked any different, he probably looked worse. He just was a bigger person, much slower. If he was on anything, why he didn't have stripping all his, like every punch, the brick hand, the jab, everything would have been strong. He only hit him with the same punch I told everybody, a hook, which is Devin was sitting right there to get caught with the hook. And they talk about this, my bad, talk about these guys like, whatever, pound for pound or
Billing at it.
You know, they're just going to keep saying things to try to, change the narrative and make it seem like, I started everything or, whatever they want to tell the world. But they people, man, they like to, come off a certain way, and try to trick the fans and, just trying to make it seem like, they these certain type of people. But I know what kind of people they is, you know what I'm saying? And, I ain't going to go into details, but at the end of the day, man, I'm trying to fight.
Devin is an easy fight for Key. I don't know boxing. Now look, I got a serious question for y'all. You ready? Now, when I go in there and make bro look like easy work, what y'all gonna say then? Like, what are y'all gonna say? Like, not trying to say like bash in y'all face, but when I go in there and make him look easy, or if I go in there and stop him, what can y'all say? Are y'all gonna put me like pound for pound one of the best? Can Keyshawn be the greatest of all time? Like, what we talking about if I go in there and stop him?
Are you the king of boxing?
No, I'm not the king of boxing.
What's gonna make you become the king of boxing?
Whoop a couple more niggas' ass.
Let's start right now.
Nah, not right now.
Who's some of your favorite fighters to watch right now?
Favorite fighters to watch right now?
What have you seen?
Yeah. I like Bivol. I like Keyshawn Davis. I like right now, like in boxing right now.
Yeah. Right now, and then something that you like, molded your boxing style after.
Bam Rodriguez, Jerron Busenis, Tank a good fighter. Somebody I probably molded my style after, probably like the Andre Wards and the Floyd Mayweathers and Bud. I watch Bud all the time, so them guys for sure. And Pernell Whitaker.
Okay.
You say somebody that's a top fighter for me to fight right now.
Okay, right now?
Yeah. Shakur?
I wouldn't say Shakur. I mean, but people want Shakur. I would go maybe T.O. I would say maybe Ryan rematch again only because of what he did to Devin Haney. I would have said Devin Haney before the Ryan shit.
They got a couple fights.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
I'm lined up. I think he fighting somebody. He fighting Rolly. He fighting Rolly, then he fighting Devin again. Like, they got fights coming up. They got shit lined up already.
Okay, me? I mean, I'm just saying, as a fan of me, I'm gonna say T.O. I'm gonna say Shakur Stevenson. I'm gonna say,
but now, okay, now go look at his fight and see, like, all right, he's the same. He haven't done nothing, bro. It's about people backing him. That's what the build up is. So, you feel me? And I don't even want to be talking about this nigga, but it's about people like, oh, this he was signed to Andre Ward or Terrence and his, like, you know, behind him. It's about like, oh,
You think everybody's scared to fight Shakur?
Yes.
Why?
Because he great.
He hit hard, right?
It ain't that he hit hard. It's just that
he's hard to hit. And I think people don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like that.
They don't like that.
He mastered the martial arts of hit and not get hit.
Mm-hmm.
If you master something in a sport that's one-on-one, only a select few people is going to be crazy enough to be like, man, I want to fight him. I want to test him out. You know, just say if you mastered, you know, wrestling.
Right.
You know, and you was one of the coldest wrestlers ever. You know, it's going to be people that be like, they going to go in there like they was used to go in there with Tyson. Like, man, I can't beat this dude. Like, man.
They already lost in their mind.
You know what I mean? And it's going to be some dudes like, man, he going to have to beat me. He going to have to show me. Like, I'm just as good as him. You know, and I think that's what it comes down to with boxing. Like, people is scared to lose, and he's not scared to lose.
Mm.
You know, he's putting his talent and his craft on the line every time. Like, hey, show me that you can beat me. And the people that know that it's going to be a tough time, they're like, I don't even know if I want to go through that, you know, because I want to keep my O. And I think that's what it comes down to.
That's cap. That's cap, Shakur. That's cap, Terrence. That's cap. Remember Devin Haney said that? Yeah, bullshit, man. Devin got these niggas on the run. He got these niggas on the run and he ain't even got a gun. Let's talk, man. I ain't gonna be here for a long time, just a good time. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Get notifications, we go live or drop a video. Yeah, let's get it started off, man. Yeah, so Lamont Roach is fighting Jose Zepeda Saturday. I mean, not this, all this Keyshawn and Devin stuff. It's got the game mixed up right now. In general, Golden Boy throws in lethargic fight week. Even when they had Canelo, their fight weeks are very lethargic, and this is no exception. Golden Boy's fights don't have any swag to them, any hip to any hop. They don't know how to throw a fight weekend. Nobody cares about the grand arrivals. It's just lethargic. It's a lethargic weekend. They don't know how to master the art of marketing and promoting their fight week. I believe they in Vegas, and people are talking about a purse bid before they're talking about this particular fight. Now, this particular fight is very, very interesting. You know, once you look at it, Lamont Roach coming off 2 draws. A lot of people believe it was 2 victories. You know, a guy that a lot of people said lucked up and got a world title in a very ugly fight. You know, and people didn't think he was that good. I'll be real with you. I didn't think he was as good as he turned out, but maybe it was the weight cut. You know, he won the title. I think it was versus Hector Luis Garcia. He won the title or something like that. They don't show the WBA on here, but coming off 2 draws, you know, 5'7", 68-inch arms. You know, I think the weight gain was really, really good for him. Gaining that additional, you know, 5 pounds in real weight, probably 10 pounds in rehydration, additional 8 to 10 pounds of rehydration. But he only got 1 loss, you know, and that was to Jamel Herring. He got 3 draws on his resume. And that original draw came against Orlando Cruz, the pride of Puerto Rico. And you know, he be taking on William Zepeda, a guy that's, you know, 33, only 1 loss with Shakur Stevenson. You know, got dropped by Tevin Farmer. People thought he robbed Tevin Farmer without a gun and a mask on. You know, 5'9", 69.5-inch
arms for him, and that ain't gonna matter because he don't use his reach. You know, he'd be a better fighter, you know, if he learned to really take. You know, he's kind of like a young pitcher with a big arm. If he learns how to change the speeds of his punches, he would be a phenomenal fighter. If you ask me, he'd be a lot better fighter. But you know, he likes to throw everything at the same speed, everything hard, and you know, Lamont Roach has got to understand in this fight. You know, I believe they in Vegas, right? Yeah, they're at the Virgin Hotel. You know, he has to understand in this situation and in this fight is that he has to come for a knockout. He at least has to get a knockdown in this fight. He's already down 2 to 3 rounds already. Fucking with Golden Boy, being in old Mexico, he has to come and he has to come in great conditioning. He has to come and you know, not just throw one shot, one counter shot. When you fight somebody like Zepeda, how do you break that up? Break them combinations up. You gotta punch with them. You gotta counter with combinations. A lot of times you see people counter guys who throw a lot of punches with one shot at a time. One shot. You know, if they throw 2-3 shots and counter with 2 or 3 shots, they might have a lot more success. You know what I mean? So this is just gonna be a fight of, you know, Lamont Roach. You know, it kind of plays into Zepeda's favor. Lamar Roach is not a big puncher, not a lot of output. They're probably going to rob him. If I had to be a guessing man, I would say Zepeda's probably going to win a controversial decision, maybe a majority split decision, maybe even into the draw. That's my opinion on it. I think there's going to be a dash of controversy in there somewhere. You know, Lamar Roach came up short a couple times in a row. I think he's about to come up short again just for the simple fact he don't have a lot of punching power, for the fact he don't throw a lot of punches. In this fight, he's going to have to throw a lot of punches, man. He's going to have to, you know, go to the body. He's going to have to use his jab. He's going to have to punch with Zepeda, counter him with 3 or 4 shots. And they're going to let Lamont Roach, they're going to let Zepeda outwork Lamont Roach. They're going to say he threw more punches. And Lamont Roach is going to get robbed. Lamont Roach has got to come with that mentality to really go out there and get a knockout. You know, he need, or if not, some knockdowns. That's just the reality of it. Zepeda has the style to probably look like he beat Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach can't be passive. Lamont Roach, when you fight a guy like Zepeda, high stamina, high volume, body work, combinations and combination, counter punching and combinations. Be first, put him on the back foot, show angles. He has the ability to win this fight, but I just think it's gun in a mass time. You do the math for my Juicy J voice. That's just my opinion. But if he gonna win this fight, he gonna use a jab. He gonna punch with Zepeda in combination. He gonna rip the body. He gonna turn Zepeda, and he gonna be first. Those are the things he got to do on a consistent basis. If he ain't punching in combination, he better be first. You know what I'm saying? You know, if he ain't first and punching in combination, he better be touching Zepeda body, because Zepeda throw a lot of punches. So touch his body, he get tired. You know, those are the simple victory for Zepeda. You just got to keep Lamar Roach on the ropes. You keep his back on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, they gonna give it to you. You already got the crowd backing you up. You got the, you know, Golden Boy backing you up. They about to rob Lamar Roach, or Lamar Roach about to lose. I don't want to just say it's about to be a gun in a mask, but it's a bad spot to be in Vegas. He throw a lot of punches, and people could say, well, Tevin Farmer did this. Well, that motherfucker still lost that first fight. So if he want to win this fight, man, him and his father, they can't be laid back. They got to come out there with the mentality, we got to stop this guy. And how do you stop him? Be first, punch in combination, punch to the body, come in the best condition that you can come. You come in the best condition that you can come in. Come in the best shape of your fucking life. That would be my advice to him. Come in the best shape in your life. You know, and if he don't do those 4 things, that he needs to do those 4 things to win the fight, he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win. If he don't do those 4 things, he ain't gonna win the fight. And for Zepeda, he just gotta move his hands and put Roach on the back foot. Roach, I mean, it's crazy how we got guys that weigh 140 pounds, 30 pounds, or they make that weight and they don't throw no punches. To me, that's an amazing feat. They make that weight and they don't throw no punches. That's amazing to me. These dudes need to throw punches, but Zepeda, if he ever can learn to use a jab and learn to take stank off his punches and change the speed off his punches, kind of use angles, base a little wide, but I get it. He coming forward. This is gonna be an interesting fight. Zepeda need to get with Chavez and learn how Chavez really got up under his opponents and use angles. He don't use no angles. That dude got to learn how to get his head off the line, use it's just offense. And I never really understood kind of that concept of big punchers or speed or pitchers with big arms. A lot of times they gotta learn master the accuracy too. But when you think about it, a lot of them gotta throw their arm out or have a Tommy John surgery to learn how to throw off speed pitches. I don't. One thing I always thought like this growing up. Like, why can't it happen to me? A lot of people live in a world of, oh, this can't happen to me, or this will never happen. A lot of people have that mindset. When you see something happen to somebody, it only becomes a reality that it can or it can happen to you when they hit close to home. That's when it becomes a reality. But a lot of people don't think it can happen to him. I remember Nate Campbell was on live with us. He was talking about I think we was live. He was talking about Mike Jones. And anybody remember Mike Jones? He was the welterweight, big welterweight. He was like 6'2", muscular. And he was telling Nate that he had never been dropped, dropped in sparring, and he had this granite chin. And he told us, he said, yo, if you hang around long enough in this sport, it's gonna happen to you. And he fought Randall Bailey. This is a guy that Earl Spence was alleged they was ducking or hid for him, and I don't blame that motherfucker neither. I wouldn't fight that nigga neither on my mama. I wouldn't fight no nigga like Randall Bailey. If you know, you know. And he knocked Mike Jones, man. He was saying who never heard from again. So a lot of people live in this false reality that it can't happen to you, dog. It can. I always lived in that reality. If it can happen to anybody, it can happen to you. A lot of people, but in general, Lamont Roach got to be more aggressive in this fight. He got to take the fight to Zepeda in this fight, or they gonna take it from him. They gonna take it from him. And if he know this and understand his circumstances, then you gonna get an aggressive Lamont Roach come August 1st, Saturday. You're gonna get an aggressive Lamont Roach. And if he don't believe Fat Meat Greasy, you're going to get a Lamont Roach that's going to come in there and, who had a draw his last two fights, which he should have stepped it up even more. And when you don't have that big punching power, when you don't have the most monstrous punching power, when you don't have that punching power, then you have to make it up with volume. You have to make it up with volume and defense. You got to make people miss, and you got to make people pay, and that's just what it is. Make them miss, make them pay. That's the reality of it. When you lack something, even if I had a fighter that had power, we acting like you don't got power. We acting like you don't got power. That's the reality I'm living in. I'm acting like Buddy don't got power. We training to hone those skills, but it's just these fighters be thinking that, oh, I can just knock everybody out. I can just blow past everybody. I can do this. I could do that. That's what the reality they live in until it don't happen no more. Until the arm go out, until they get hurt, or they get knocked out, or whatever that situation may be. So, but yeah, Roach and old buddy, it's a good fight. We can look who on the undercard real quick. We can look on the undercard. Give me a minute. So you got Roach, Moratella, and Roberson Casiaco. Barul Carriel, he's fighting Quentin Randall, the guy that allegedly hurt Earl Spence to the ribs. Charles Conwell is fighting Paul Crow. There's some good fights on here. Some good fighters' names I noticed on here. So I might even tap in for this, man. I'm probably taking that I'm probably gonna tap in for this. This is a solid card by Golden Boy. You know, I'm somebody that get credit where credit is due. This is a solid card by Golden Boy. So I can't say it wasn't no solid card, but this is a solid card. So so real solid card. So I mean, I look forward to it. I look forward to it. So I look forward to it. But oh yeah, I want to talk about this. So before we get to the comment section, we're gonna move on to this, and then I'm gonna attack the main event, the main topic, and we're gonna rock out on this. So give me 1 minute, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. So eventually y'all see a video from me. I don't know when I'm gonna drop it. I may drop it tomorrow, I may not drop it tomorrow, I don't know. But eventually you'll see a video that I did, and I talked about we're starting to get all the old fights that with Charlo and Andrade arguing. You know, all these old ninjas starting to fight. So you got Tim Tszyu targeting Jamel Charlo, Erislandy Lara. Obviously, he's in a PBC affiliate. I was listening to Coach Show a week or two ago, and they were talking about they should do an old ninja card. Wilder, Usyk, which I understand why Usyk is fighting Wilder. I have no issue. Adrian Broner, Paula Malignaggi, Charlo, Andrade could be on there. You know, and we didn't get Spence and Keith Thurman, but had Errol Spence won that fight, we possibly could have got Jamel Charlo. But Tim Tszyu is targeting Jamel Charlo or Erislandy Lara after retiring Errol Spence. Now, in my opinion, one of the fights I think that should be on the old nigga card is Jamel Charlo and Lara. Now, a lot of y'all may not understand that history there. The Charlos ducked Erislandy Lara, but at one point, Lara was pretty much their mentor. Lara helped groom them. I remember Lara said he started calling them out. They all went their separate ways. I think Jamel went over with Derek, if my memory serves me correctly. And then, eventually Erislandy Lara did end up leaving. And Jamal, I think it was Jamal's explanation was like, well, our kids play together. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fight us. Our families are close. And, Lara had fired back, and he was like, well, I used to spar both of them, and they used to fight each other over who got hit less, when I sparred them. Basically them was my young boys. So the Charlos avoided fighting Erislandy Lara, and I think that should be on the old ninja card. But in general, Tim Tszyu going after one of them. If I have to be quite honest with you, I'd prefer Jamel and Lara, actually fight than Tim Tszyu fight these particular guys. But in general, Tim Tszyu, if I'm him, either one is dangerous. You fight Jamel Charlo coming back. I mean, the Charlos are not known for getting out of shape. Even you could say what you say about Jamal Charlo right now. You can kind of see he in his face. You kind of can see, possibly something is going on in his face. His face is all sunken in and shit. You can see shit going on. He ain't like right, but he's still in solid shape. You don't see them. They got good genetics. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn around and you see, Jamel Charlo. But activity is activity. And Tim, regardless of what everybody believes, Tim is still not 100% back. So Tim needs to get his confidence up. But Jamel is a dangerous fight. Lara's a dangerous fight for Tim Tszyu. They both, have the ability to move. Charlo's kind of been more of a head-on collision type of guy that comes right at you. And Lara can, if you force Lara, you pull a gun on Lara, Lara will, pull the trigger on you. Lara will get a shotgun and do you dirty. So to me, it's both two dangerous fights. But guess what? The one that's not as dangerous is not because Lara is a 50-year-old. It's not because Lara's a 50-year-old, possible 50-year-old fighter. It's just to the point where, he got a belt, so it's worth the risk. Fighting Jamel Charlo. I mean, he ain't gonna bring no fans. He ain't gonna bring no fans to the table. At least fighting Lara, you able to get a belt. So, and Lara's probably been fairly inactive. So, I don't have no problem with Tim Tszyu doing this. He took 2 losses in a row. I think his how can I say it? His pride of wanting to prove to American fight fans that he is a dog. And I think he's already proved that, he's a dog. It's just American fight fans don't want to give it to Tim. That's all it is. They're praised, certain fighters, if you're looking for exception from fight fans, man, they all fickle. You know what I'm saying? But it says following Tim Tszyu's unanimous decision victory over Earl of the Truth, or used to be the Truth, Spence, July 25th, Focus has moved to Jamel Charlo and Lara's leading possibility for this next bout. Mike Coppinger revealed those are being considered. Neither, however, will likely be viewed as a favorite by the fans as popular choices. Going straight into a matchup with a 36 Jamel, who just sat on the sidelines since getting outclassed by Canelo late 2023, offers practically zero competitive credibility. And like I said, it's all potential. It's all risk. It's all risk at that point fighting Jamel Charlo. Winning against a rusty and inactive Charlo hasn't scared, and it's just lyrics. I was same thing I was saying about Boots. Boots going in there versus Jamel Charlo is like it's a lose-lose. If you win, I mean, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? If you lose, over it just he doesn't bring the money or the capital, or the fan base that you can build on, or the capital, the money you can build on. It's a high risk, low fucking reward type fight. And that is what it is. It's real and then if you turn around and fight Lara, who widely to believe to be a 50 ball out here, but at least you get a title out of Lara. And it's somebody told me in the comment section that Genovic is moving up, even though they still got him listed as a champion and didn't formally strip him for popping hot. I mean, Tim Tszyu, can just jump ahead of Lara. Jump ahead of Boots, Fondora, Virgil Ortiz, and start getting some of these belts at 160. Whether it's Lara and then trying to go after whoever get the IBF title, or trying to go after whoever, if Denzel Bentley end up with the WBO. If I'm Tim Tszyu, and I'm gonna straight be fighting, in Australia, regardless, I'm gonna go get Lara. I'm gonna go out there and get Denzel Bentley once he becomes champion. I'm gonna try to get Jose Ramos or Carlos. I'm gonna show that division up. Therefore, whoever comes out on top at 154 pounds, they got to come see me. I'm already have majority, if not all, the belts. Ain't no money man at 160 pounds. So Tim Tszyu is the money. So everybody, if they want to make a decent payday, everybody got to come see Tim Tszyu. So if Tim Tszyu and his team is smart, you go get Lara, you get a belt, and if you can't card unifying titles, then you go out there and you get Jamel Charlo. But while I'm stacking titles, Charlo can be coming back and doing some other different things, in my opinion. Absolutely. That's his mentality, man. Fuck 54. I'm gonna go up to 60. There's some young guys there, but guess what? Am I worried about Jai Tucker right now? Absolutely not. Am I worried about Amari Jones? Absolutely not. Not right now. So if I'm in his position, I'm going to 60. It's something that Jamel should have did. Jamel should have, humbled himself. What do you tell Crawford? Humble yourself and go to 60 and start collecting belts. Then you put yourself in a position to fight Fondor. You put yourself in a position to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. Now they need you. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of these guys just look at the money, and I get it. The money is a very, very important factor to this. But at the end of the day, it's strategy. If your strategy is to go where the money gonna be at, I'm guarantee your strategy is you're gonna lose. But let me get to these comments, and then we about to run down the main event. Should have took the $3 million. Talking about finally caught a live boring legend salute. It's a 4K seater. What you talking about? Lamont Moneyline. He said Mexican Hector and salute. Thumbnails hilarious. Shout out to Egner. No, Egner, you supposed to be Puerto Rican. Berlanga rolling over and sure. He said Rick Lashley claiming on Twitter that Jay Prince is the one that pushed Keyshawn to get $3 million from Top Rank and wanted him to take it. So okay, so we gonna get to that historic fumble by Keyshawn. He said, which means in theory, should Spreader gas up Keyshawn to take the purse. But I mean, you can't just put it on him. I just watched Sugar Ray Robinson fight against Jake LaMotta St. Valentine's Day Massacre. What I see is Sugar Ray Leonard through combinations and was conditioned. Man, motherfucker was a problem. I mean, Jake LaMotta got him one time. I think that might have been the second fight. The first fight, Jake LaMotta got him, and I remember one time he got him. He said, "I watched Sugar so much, I got diabetes." Yeah, man, Sugar Ray Robinson, man, he Muhammad Ali patterned this game by him. Sugar Ray Robinson, killed the nigga with a left hook, dreamt about it, and then it happened. Yeah, man, hands fast. I mean, went up, man. Keep watching Sugar Ray Robinson, man. Would have been the light heavyweight champion of the world. I think it was just the hottest day in New York history, and he fainted. They went through 2 or 3 reps that night. I mean, you got to understand how tough the fighters was back in the day. I believe they had two or three different reps in that fight. I believe they was at the old Polo Grounds, Yankee Stadium. 2 or 3 reps in that fight, fainted. They was on like their second or third ref. He's talking Shakur talking about he a fucking bum. And Jake LaMotta on that fight night before Fight Night Champions, he was one of the most unbeatable characters. That nigga was a cheat code. If you play Fight Night, what was it? What was it? One round 4? Man, nigga was a cheat code. Jake LaMotta was like the best fighter in that fight night. That's a fact, huh? Salute. He said, "You're the only person on YouTube right now here talking about Roach." I mean, I do, it is what it is. I had to put it out there for my brother Lamar Roach. I fuck with Lamar Roach. Shout out to Lamar Roach. So I told myself I was gonna do that. Jay Hardaway, salute. Tim Zeus should go for Undisputed. I just said that, but let's go. So they did the purse bid. I wasn't even aware. I know niggas was going live and shit, man. I was in my own little world. So I forgot they was gonna stream it. And I mean, at the end of the day, man, I got on the horn with some people yesterday, bro. Yeah, I got on the horn with some people yesterday. So the 3 million that was real. I think that the biggest issue with this, I think the biggest issue, and I said this yesterday, from what I took away from it, the biggest issue was that the pay discrepancy between Keyshawn and Devin. I think Keyshawn was saying that Devin didn't I don't deserve to make this much less than Devin Haney. I need, according to Rick Laser, it was $5 million. I deserve to make this much. Devin Haney don't deserve to make way more, and I have the number, so hold on. Holding on is hard when the love is gone, and there's no lie. All right, we get to the little controversy. I don't know. I guess it was Keyshawn team. So Top Rank won it. Now, if you don't know, this already was figured out. Let's just get through the other part. Let's go to the other part. We can get all this out the way, then we get to all the tweets and shit. But Top Rank, it was already known that that the Zone was gonna bid on this fight. The Zone was gonna win. The Zone has rights to Keyshawn through Top Rank with their streaming deal. Also, the Zone also has rights through they have rights to Devin Haney. They got a deal with Devin Haney. So in general, there was no reason for nobody else to bid, because why would Matchroom bid and step on Top Rank toes or the Zone toes? So they wouldn't do that because the Zone funds Matchroom. So they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't step on they wouldn't step on his toes. So really nobody else was gonna bid because everybody is on the Zone. T.O. bid it to be a troll, but everybody's on the Zone. Everybody's on the Zone. So it didn't matter. So there was nobody to bid because everybody understood, and the person that could have bid that didn't bid, was Zuffa. So that was the only thing. So yeah. So I mean, in general, when people say, "Oh, nobody wanted this fight," it was nobody to bid. It wasn't nobody gonna cross the Zone because everybody on the Zone. Everybody is on the Zone. Nobody was gonna cross the Zone. Everybody on the Zone. And the person that couldn't Zuffa that could have crossed the Zone, they wasn't going. They couldn't bid. They couldn't bid. So when people going around and I don't even know what's going on with this. when people going around and saying that, well, you know, nobody cared about this fight and nobody, no. It was just the understanding that everybody know the zone had rights to everybody involved in this particular fight. So it was no point of bid against the zone because that's who's funding everybody. So everybody understood this, bro. Nobody else was gonna come in and bid against the zone. It's just simple as that. So apparently, I guess that's somebody from TO team that's trying to say that it wasn't sealed and yeah, it wasn't sealed and they didn't seal it and all this. So I don't really understand that. But you know, you going to the championship committee, that means absolutely nothing. That means absolutely nothing. You going to the championship committee, buddy, that means absolutely nothing. You're basically going to the championship. You basically going to the judge. You know, you going to, how can I say this? You're going in front of the judge who just said you was guilty to go. You're going against just, it don't matter. It's going to be the same result, right? So, you know, am I surprised by this about top rank? No, everybody knew this was going to win. They was going to win. The zone was going to win the purse bid. The zone probably threw them some couple dollars to win that purse bid. Anybody that didn't understand this going in, a la Keyshawn Davis, was just stupid. And the word on the street is that Keyshawn was asking for the fireball. He wanted $5 million. So I can sit here and tell you this, you know, give me a minute. So hold on. So this came, I don't even know when this came, bro. So I think your favorite fighter, Keyshawn, is going to abduct the fight with Devin. Laugh out loud. He turned down $3 million. He's not going to fight him for $2 million. I had some people reach out to Keyshawn personally. This came out the horse's mouth. He turned down $3 million because it wasn't enough. He wanted $5 million. He was for sure not taking this too. Just to let you know, you heard it here first. He said, "I hope he don't have a choice." Because he a bitch, but it's not me saying this. From what he said, his fighting price is $5 million. He said the $3 million was a low ball offer. That's what he told Blase Blah. This nigga pocket watching Devin. How is $3 million a low ball offer when you never made that in your fucking 15 or your 15 career, in your 15 fight career? He mad because Devin getting a guaranteed $10 million with bonuses. He said, yes, that's how I know he's pocket watching Devin. His bitch ass told Blase Blah that Devin is getting a guaranteed $10 million. Blank had already told me though. That's what I said. The nigga got 15 fights. That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck is he to ask for $5 million in a percentage of pay-per-view revenue like he the name in the sport? I hope you don't have a choice and have to fight for $2 million. That's gonna show he's not worth $5 million and that he was running his fucking mouth to Blase Blah. He don't run shit. He said, bro, to you and everybody else, don't feel bad for he talking about Floyd. I'll just say this for Floyd because he broke and Al Heyman ass fucked him. He's a grown ass man. That's what's shown on the paperwork. The lawyer came in looking for his friend, his daddy, Al Heyman. He still chose to sign with him. I call that a stupid motherfucker that don't deserve no sympathy. I just threw that shit in for good measure. So that was it. That was in the car. That was, wrote to me. So I mean, hey, so Devin getting 10 plus bonuses, but Dan Raphael, he came out and said that he confirmed it. And we're gonna talk about pocket watching ass Keyshawn daddy, Shakur, and what he said. But yeah, you know, the zone is making up the difference for Devin Haney to meet his minimum. So I didn't, you know, I don't know if people knew that, but the zone is going to be meeting his minimum. So the 6 that he got, the zone going to give him $4 million to make it good. So apparently he's going to get $10 million to fight Keyshawn with bonuses. So I don't know if that's points on the pay-per-view or whatever that situation is. Now, Dan Raphael went on, and what I learned about the purse bid before some of you were born is that they are often devised to ensure that the opponents show up. In this case, Davis, promoter makes a deal with his fighters ahead of the time. In this case, the zone with the A-side Haney, with Top Rank working with his broadcaster the zone, which will cover Haney's long ago agreed to money. So Top Rank, backed by the zone, bids enough so the percentage the opponent, Davis in this case, gets is enough for him to accept. Haney gets his money based off the zone deal. Now it's up to Davis to say yes or no to what his piece of the bid is. And long before this bid happened, Top Rank in the zone have worked out their numbers with each other on what will be the pay-per-view event. I guarantee you that. Why no major promoter bid is because they're also with the zone. And the zone obviously back Top Rank. Whoever, and that's because they can't nobody else bid, even Zuffa, everybody else on the zone, whoever told Davis to force the bid or made the decision on his own, it was just stupid. The kids never learned. #boxing. So they gave him 3, and then they said, you know what? Since ain't nobody else gonna bid but trolling ass T.O., you know, we gonna give you 900,000 less than you was about to get, nigga. Now I was on the horn yesterday. Yesterday, they were saying that they was willing to say I'm gonna tell y'all this is what y'all don't know. I don't know if somebody else reported it. I don't listen to these niggas, but I'm gonna just tell you what I heard from the horse's mouth. The guy that was on Coach Malachi's show today, he told me out his mouth. He called in. He told me out his fucking mouth that when they was trying to see what Keyshawn Davis wanted, they were willing to negotiate to give Keyshawn more money. And Keyshawn cut off communication. Bill was negotiating to give Keyshawn more chili. He was going to give Keyshawn more chili. Now, would it have been the $2 million that Keyshawn was looking for? No. Could Bill had to work this magic and gave Keyshawn some money on the back end? That wasn't specified. But what he said to me was that they was trying to negotiate and see what Keyshawn wanted and try to, you know, close the gap on that. He was going to bat to get Keyshawn Davis more money. When his manager and promoter, I don't know what they was doing. We didn't get into that. But Bill was hustling up to get Keyshawn more money. He was like, we were trying to see what he want, but then he go on the internet crying and putting a minstrel show on, in my words, putting a minstrel show on, and you know, he don't want to see what he didn't want to negotiate. Bill said, I was looking to get him some more money. He was like, that's why I hit him up in the DM. I was trying to get him some money. And then he go on the internet talking all this whole ass shit and all this bitch ass nigga shit. So guess what? They took that 3 off that table. Devin was, regardless, Devin was going to get his 10 plus his money regardless. Bill was trying to make it right for Keyshawn, and Keyshawn caught off, Keyshawn, and he went online, Hoopline, and see y'all at the purse bid and shit like that. Keyshawn cut off communication with Bill, and Bill was trying to get him more money. So do that sound like somebody that's going to take a fight? See, that's something that I don't hear. I don't know if somebody else talking about. Nobody else talking about that. Bill tried to put some money in his pot. He got the hollering and screaming. So, you know, all these indications would lead you to believe that he ain't going to take the fight. Everything that we done said, everything people done said behind the scenes, and he done told niggas in secrecy and all that, it seemed like he ain't going to take the fight. That seems to be the vibe, that he's not going to take the fight. Because if he going to Jay, I'm pretty sure Bill went to Jay Prince like, what's going on with your mans? You know, $3 million a good payday. And maybe Jay Prince like, well, you know, nigga, I told the nigga to take the payday and do this, that, and the third, but you know, he don't want to listen to nobody. Woo, 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 woo. You know. So Bill probably tried to plug in with him, and ultimately, you know, Shakur can be mad at Jay Prince for putting him in this position to protect Shakur Stevens. So he got 48 hours, from what I heard, to lock this fight down. And this fight don't happen, man. Boxing done, bro. Ain't nothing else to watch, man. You're gonna see all these old niggas start fighting each other, and they're gonna try to act like it's, you know, 2015, 16. It's too late. It's too late, bro. You're gonna see a lot of these old niggas gonna be trying to make it come back. It's gonna be a geriatric boxing. It's too late, bro. It's too late. If you pull out of this, dog, I mean, ain't even nothing to be said. I wouldn't fight him. I wouldn't fight him myself. If I'm Devin, I'll never fight this nigga again. Don't tell me nothing about Shakur and Devin. I mean, Keyshawn. But then you got Bud going out there talking about, well, you know, Shakur won't be scared to fight. No, man. I just don't really respect, you know, motherfuckers lying, bro. I would rather you just not say nothing at all, bro, because that nigga straight up lied in that clip, man. That nigga ain't trying to fight the best. And when you got people with the clout of Terrence Crawford, when people who got the clout of Terrence Crawford and the credibility got out here and they lie to the fans like that, that's disgusting. Hold these niggas accountable, bro. You should be telling these niggas behind the scenes. You ain't got to say it on wax. Like, bro, go ahead and take that fight. But if you're going to stay out of it, I wouldn't say nothing. I'm like, I ain't really commenting on that. I'm going to stay the fuck up out of that. That's their business. Then stay out of it. But to sit here and be divisive and lie, straight up and down, Keyshawn looking like a mark if he don't take this fight. And I say this from my perspective, and I, you know, and everything going against everything that I believe, that I'm reading and the behind the scenes and I'm seeing, he ain't got no choice but to take the fight. I'm 100% sure he gonna take the fight. He ain't got no choice but to take the fight. He ain't got no choice but to take the fight. Because his money already funny. The highest he made is 1.5. I'm gonna guess that was with Jermaine Ortiz. Right? That was double his career high payday. He probably mad he wasn't getting no pay-per-view money. But it is what it is. You got to crawl before you walk. You got to smile before you talk. So it is what it is. It's part of the process. You win, they're gonna be beating down your door for paper, you know, to do pay-per-views. But everybody feel like in this generation they deserve some shit that they ain't never earned. They feel like you should just give them something that they never earned. They just entitled to it without putting in no work. Devin Haney put the body of work in. So, you know, he's entitled to this. He's earned it. He took short money. He went overseas. He did this. He did. Can't get mad at it. When your turn comes, which your turn is coming prematurely, so you can strike while the iron ain't even it's warm. It ain't even hot yet. So when it get hot, man, you're gonna run up a bag. But this generation is the microwave generation. They want it now. They don't care if I ain't put the work in, I ain't got the credibility, I ain't got the experience. Just pull money out your ass and lose money on me. Come on, man. That's just what it boiled down to. But him fucking up that money with Top Rank and Edwin De Los Santos, all the money they lost in that event, you know what I'm saying? What he pulled in the locker room with Nair Albright, he can't afford. And also, it don't sound like Zuffa was too keen on working with him, and maybe that's because he signed a Top Rank and they couldn't sign him to a deal. So maybe that's why they. But unless he got a plan to get to Zuffa, respectfully, this is a bad deal. You already Top Rank already mad. They're extremely mad at this kid. They don't want to promote. They went from him getting rid of Shakur and moving on from Terrence. You know what I'm saying? They went on to make him the star. They went on it. They was gonna make him the face of Top Rank. They were gonna make him the face of Top Rank. And as soon as he did that, bro, that motherfucker was hurting for money, bro. The minute he did that, he was hurting for money. That's why he came back, you know, like a came back praising God. Nigga was probably dead broke, bro. Jay Prince probably fronted him some money, sold his soul over. That $3 million he got was probably gonna be $500,000. That's before taxes and shit. We know the game, bro. We know the game. He signed his life away in a bad deal to Jay Prince, well, in my assumption. He making bad decision after bad decision. He do this, bro. He probably gonna be back working. He gonna be back in Norfolk for folk, working at the Boys and Girls Club. I don't know who giving him this bad advice, but he got bad advice. He got bad advice. So if he pull out, if he don't fight to this, bro, people already don't want to do business with Keyshawn no more. This can breathe life back into his career. He do this, dog, man. Anybody gonna work with him no more for real? He gonna find himself ostracized, and he gonna be claiming, "Oh, the black man, they doing this to the black." Nah, nigga, you did this to yourself. Bad business decision after bad business decision. You did it to yourself. So, can he afford to do it? No. But we know in this generation, they make a lot of impulsive decisions. They make a lot of impulsive decisions in this generation. That's we do know. That we do know. They make a lot of bad decisions. Just off the knee-jerk reaction. So, if he don't do that, I mean, it is what it is. He gonna try to lie and blame Devin Haney, or they lying to y'all, and that purse bid was fake. It was AI. The purse bid was AI. that $2 million they got, that was AI from Bill. I know the numbers and I know what's gonna happen, and it's just like, bro, the plan was never to fight. I told y'all that from the beginning. Now it's just to see how much of a pussy, if he a pussy of a raw. If he a pussy, he gonna pull out. So no, Devin Haney has an exclusive contract with his own. Has his own, and DHP confirmed it. Just asking for a friend at home, bro. Like, what do you care? Like, the reason they on the zone is because you wouldn't sign to fight him. The reason he on his own is because you wouldn't fight him. So why does Devin Haney have his deal with this? Like, nigga, what y'all always worry about what Devin doing? How about telling your mans to get in that square circle with old buddy? These niggas, man, if he don't take this fight, bro, don't say nothing about them niggas to me no more, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about these dudes no more. Realistically, dog, I don't want to hear nothing about them. I mean, if y'all want to continue to talk about them, I don't hear nothing about them, dog. I don't hear nothing about them, dog. They sit there, they set Keyshawn Davis up. I don't hear nothing about it. I can't see him not taking this $2 million. Nigga broke. I can't see him not taking this $2 million, bro. Shout out to Mortal Films in the super chat. He said, he want 8 figures because he knows Haney about to knock him out. I mean, what's the dude from Fight Hype today? Ernesto, who signed with Dimitri Salita. Bad decision. Fuck Dimitri Salita. No, nobody like that motherfucker, man. I was telling niggas that shit years ago, man. Fuck Dimitri Salita. I can't stand that piece of shit. But what's his name? Tito Marcelo. He said he touched Keyshawn chin in some light sparring and he ain't like it. So I don't know. Keyshawn, if Keyshawn don't take this fight, bro, don't tell me nothing about these niggas, man. All because Shakur didn't want to be a man and fight Devin Haney. He didn't want to be a man and fight Oshaki Foster. Like, bro, and people still defending this guy. Crawford, oh yeah, he the best. Man, the best these nuts. How about that? Nigga lying. And that's why, motherfucker, man, that's why you ain't got no real OGs in this shit no more. When Roy kept it real on Earl and Terrence, Earl fell out with him. Earl got an attitude with him. And I ain't talking, you can't, they can't take, and I get it. Social media is a different type of beast. I really do get it. Social media is a different type of beast. So when you say something, You know, it holds a lot of weight. But then you say you get constructive criticism, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm cutting you off, you blocked, or we beef, and like, man, ain't supposed to operate like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, ain't supposed to operate like that. But you know, you can't hold nobody accountable no more, bro. These niggas was raised by their mothers. They don't have no accountability. They don't know how to talk to real men. So everybody got to say, "Oh, Tank's the greatest, and Shakur's so great, and you know, Keyshawn is so great," and you know, they don't have to prove it, and that's why they feel like they ain't got to prove it, bro. They spoiled. They so throw the great thing around, and the most important thing of boxing is who you whoop. That's the most important thing about boxing. Who you whoop. Who did you put hands, foot, toes, elbows, forearms, orbital bones on? Who did you whoop? Who did you whoop? And that's the one thing that they never, that's the thing that they diminish the most. The last thing these fans care about, the last thing these boxers care about, these OGs, they don't care nothing about resume. That's the most important thing, is who you whoop. They don't care nothing about your resume. They call these niggas great. They hype these niggas up, and they don't feel like they got to do nothing. And now they giving away, you know, titles like candy bars and all that type of stuff. You know, here's what it is, bro. Here's what it is, man. You look at the whole situation, you'll think like, you know, either he ain't gonna say nothing, or you know, or behind the scenes, we don't know. Maybe he giving them the game or something like that. But this is the problem. Ain't no account. You can't hold these males accountable no more. You can't talk to a young boy and say, "All right, man, you shooting this jump shot wrong no more." Fuck you. What you talking to me for? You can't help nobody. You know, can't show nobody nothing at the gym. They don't want to listen. You got a whole bunch of generation of men who listen to women, who are attracted to bad advice. So you can't hold nobody accountable no more. As men, we can't even hold this generation accountable no more. The late millennials, the Gen Zers, the whatever, you can't hold these people accountable. So think about it for a minute. So why would you be a coach in the neighborhood? Why would you want to be a teacher, especially as a black man? Why would you want to be a stepfather? Why would you even sign up for this when you can't say nothing to nobody? You can't coach nobody. They're not coachable, teachable. They don't listen to how men talk. They quit and go quit and join another boxing gym. They quit and join another basketball team. They quit and join another motherfucking football team, soccer team. You know, why would you even waste your time trying to save a generation that can't be saved? Why? The laws ain't trying to change shit. As much as the women complain about the sassy, epidemic with men, they like these old sassy ass switch hitting ass niggas, man. They like these niggas that catch and pitch. Mike Piazza ass niggas, man. They like it, bro. So who is you to say these young motherfuckers, man? Some can be saved, most can't be saved. Because you can't tell them the truth. You can't talk to them like a man talk to him. It's over with. Look at that dude from the Bulls and played for Pistons, Jaden Ivey. You think if he had real men in his ear, he would have did what he did and threw his career down the drain? Fuck no. But when men can't talk to you, you can't talk to another man and have a conversation. That's why you see a lot of these niggas swinging on niggas and don't even know how to fight. They are emotional, irrational. And as a man, when you're emotional and irrational, that's a recipe for the upper room activity or the penitentiary. And people kill me talking about, I got a gun. And at the end of the day, with your gun, legally, illegally, or if you pop somebody and you don't listen to the law, you're going to jail. And guess what, nigga? You go to jail, it all still comes back to, nigga, you got to know how to fight. It still comes back to, nigga, you got to know how to fight. So regardless if you got the pistol in your Rari, you got a pistol in your Caprice, or you got the blicky with the sticky on you, if you shoot a nigga and you got to go to jail, guess what, nigga? You still got to know how to fight. You still got to know how to fight. It all boils down to one of the oldest trades in world history. You still got to know how to fight. It don't matter. Like, niggas be killing me with that shit. Okay, you pull a trigger. You don't got no gun insurance. You ain't, if your gun license, you pistol whip a nigga, you got to go to jail for 2 or 3 years or at least 90 days or something like that. You still got to know how to fight. Real talk. Shout out to Mortal Films 313 again. He said when you went live a few days ago, while Beaver posted a story on the ground as you were live, and he had an elbow surgery. I mean, I told y'all, man, he supposed to be coming back in another tune-up. He got hurt versus tune-up. Then he supposed to come back in another tune-up in December. Don't surprise me none. Appreciate the super chat, bro. These niggas taste the money, and it's used to it, and it's over with. A lot of these niggas think that money gonna last, and it's not in this economy, dog. That money ain't gonna. You gotta make more money. Invest your money. Niggas in the NFL, NBA sign for hundreds of millions of dollars and they broke. What make you different? First thing these niggas go do is buy a bunch of. I seen the nigga from the New York Giants. He white. He'd be all right though. The quarterback Jackson Dart. He go buy a $10 million home. His contract worth $15 million. Regardless of endorsements, is bringing him $5 million or that same 15. Fuck, you need a $10 million home for? You know, in New York, that shit look like a motherfucking. That shit look like a fucking a Houston trap house in size. Like what you need, what the fuck you need a $10 million home for at 23, 24 years? For what? For what? Nigga, a basic ass little apartment, 5 bands, you know, to make sure you had 5 bands a month, 7 bands, make sure you are. That's it. You know, living above your means, that's another feminine trait, bro. Men are minimalists. You know, that's why I don't understand. A lot of these niggas living above their means, bro. And then when it all fall down, they want motherfuckers to feel bad for you. You can't feel bad for a motherfucker like that, bro. Niggas be thinking don't invest no money, or they invested into a scheme or stealing ass financial advisor. And then at the end of the day, it's all nigga then bought. Nigga, Allen Iverson said he used to, you know, crash Rarries and shit and leave them on the side of the road. Man, these niggas deserve what they got, bro. Hate to say it. It's crazy that people think the money never gonna stop, no matter who you is. At some point, that bitch gonna some point it's gonna plateau, bro. At some point, you know, you can say Elon Musk, you know, there's exceptions to the rules, but he keep making problem after problem after problem. They gonna send him to the upper room too. He said Tim Zoo. Okay, I read that. He said he wanted to get the mandatory enforced instead of negotiating before. Man, he didn't even want to fight for belts. Keyshawn was the main one saying that he didn't want to fight for belts. Them niggas, man, put a mob tie pistol to his head and made him walk that plank. Low key, Keyshawn Davis seems like he's a great dad. He's funny and I don't know if he's a great dad or not, but I'm pretty sure he is. He said, shout out to Coach Malachi. Salute y'all. Go subscribe to True Media Podcast. He said Keyshawn turned 3. I was watching you and I was like, damn, this nigga then took my rental. I was like, oh, he got a whole nother channel. So I subscribed over there too, nigga. Keyshawn turned down $3 million just to push into a corner. 2 million layers. What did he think was gonna happen? Bill tried to get him more than a 3. That's the crazy thing about it. He cut off communication with Bill. That's why, you know, with that information, the belief is he gonna duck, but he can't afford to duck. I'm telling y'all, bro. You can't, unless he got a deal with Zuffa, he can't afford to duck. For real, it was almost 90 people in here. He said he has until Saturday. I mean, he gonna take the fight. What's your thought on Tito? I never seen Tito Masato fight, but I said I like his confidence. I like his confidence. He talked that shit. So I look forward to seeing him fight on that Clarissa fight card. Bill Haney, leave me alone. You stupid, bro. Hold on. Here you go.
Shakur. It's like, God damn, y'all so obsessed with me. Like, leave me alone. I'll just go about my business.
He said he shot himself in the foot. I mean, he might cheddar bob himself in the other fucking foot. If he don't take this fight, bro, nigga gonna be working at the gas station in Norfolk. He can take this fight. He's going to. It ain't even about getting destroyed on the internet, bro. He take this fight. Who do you go to, bro? Top Rank already didn't want to fuck with you no more. They would starve you out like they were about to starve off Nicholas Walters. That's why they had to sell itself to fucking Mob Ties. Every nigga in Mob Ties complaining right now. Finesse, the other nigga, Bill Haney doing more work than Jay Prince for his fight. I mean, yeah, shit, got him paid. But they ain't gonna still sing Bill praises. Salute. He said an amazing business man again. Man, the deal with the thing was him never to take this fight was the Devin to drop the belt, and then Shakur to put a rug up under Devin, and Devin ducked Keyshawn, dropped the belt, and he didn't want to negotiate with Shakur neither, so he ducked Keyshawn and Shakur, and Bill finessed that old slow talking ass Mob Tie nigga. He got finesse. They don't care nothing about Keyshawn Davis. In general, the hierarchy over there go, Amir Abdullah, Shakur Stevenson together, and then the rest of them niggas just foot soldiers, bro. The Amazon warehouse calling for Keyshawn if you pull up. Yeah, he ain't gonna be broke, bro. Hope he took care of his money. Can't even see Keyshawn winning after all this. But I mean, you never know, man. I mean, you never know. So I just seen motherfuckers say, "Oh, he's scared." And nigga, Danny Garcia Matias. Oh, Danny's scared, man. Danny went there and whooped his ass. Top Rank set me up. Yeah. This is a conspiracy, brother. He gonna be sitting there with Dr. Umar talking about this conspiracy. I procreated with a black girl, and Devin Haney had this Indian bitch, Dr. Umar. Oh yeah, that brother Devin is ducking. He's ducking with an Arab. What? Brother Keyshawn got a sister. We gotta ride with Keyshawn. And his moist ass deleted the tweet. I mean, that is what it is, bro. Nigga, you pocket watching the nigga that you ducked. He over there because you ducked him. Sleeter was Floyd Sparm. I hope he was beating the motherfucking solar chips out that nigga ass. Fools made. It's crazy, bro. Because I'm stubborn, I want to die to helping the youth. I mean, shout out to you, man. It's always stuff and grave. I do help too when I can. But in general, man, only people you really can help is them young kids from affluent areas, bro, who got good parents. And these niggas in the ghetto, bro, you're going to lose your life like that coach did with a Quib Talib brother. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of these niggas be helping the kids out and fucking their mama and shit, dog. I mean, I'm going to say this real quick, man. Y'all niggas got to be disciplined, man. You know, about who y'all fucking out here, man. Don't mix your work with no bitches, dog. Trust and believe me. Been there, done that. Don't mix your dick with no. Whether it's you working in the neighborhood, you coaching, you at school, man. There's so many other bitches to be fucking with, dog. Wherever you make your money at, ain't no way you should be fucking them bitches there. I promise you that. This ain't 1996, nigga. Stop, that's my word of advice. Wrestlers and wrestling and judo help you defend against someone who has a gun and knife. Yeah, the gun and knife niggas still got one up on you. The bedazzle wearing niggas, you ain't lying. They gonna have bedazzle fucking bonnets. Appreciate the super chat. He said it's New York as a crib in Indian. He in New York, that's a crib in Indian Village. His wife trying to Houston. He said he might be working at the gas station. Yeah, man, them niggas don't. Man, I'm telling y'all, man. He fucked their money up once, and he gonna fuck their money up again, bro. I mean, he would have to go to Zuffa or have Paulie put him on a Pro Box blade. Maybe the nigga can save Pro Blocks. Shakur is Rita from Power Rangers sending, man. Shakur should be the G-Way on 6 Mile in Greenfield. Shakur, that bitch be lit. Shakur, man, shame himself. Ain't nobody gonna keep it a bean about Shakur, but a couple niggas, man. I mean, Crawford say he the best, man. Hey, ain't that, man? I ain't got shit to say about a nigga like that. I ain't just keep my mouth shut talking about sitting next to Umar. I ain't gonna be sitting next to Umar, man. Atlanta gonna be lit if Keyshawn take this fight. Yeah, it is. But if he don't, I don't think it's that he's scared of Devin Haney. He just want to take a payday away from Devin Haney. No, he didn't officially duck. We just shout out to Bryce. It's the thuggish rugged Cleveland ass niggas. I was supposed to be in Cleveland for the 4th of July, but my dog got sick. But man, yeah, I was supposed to be in Cleveland, nigga. It's the we got time crazy and late. Wishes in the house. Wishes in the house. And Fresh and Tasha. Hey, man, Bone Thugs had it going on, man. That first album was fired in the motherfucker. You remember Cuddy was fucking Spider-Man? Yup. Fuck the whole gym up. That's what went through my mind. I'm glad you brought that up. I was thinking about that. Fuck the whole nigga. Nigga had promise. That nigga just left the gym. Telling y'all, bro. Telling y'all, man. Dog, man, your dick get you in a lot of places. There's a lot of issues that, man, I'm telling you. The way these bitches passing diseases around here, too, man, you best go and get married to get you a little, your personal shit, man. These bitches passing diseases to niggas. You can't, man. They got shit eating through the condoms and shit, man. Nigga was like, yeah, you prostitutes, they make you wear a condom. Man, I remember a nigga, man, I swear to God, man. I swear for God and 2 white men. I worked with this nigga, man. This nigga name was Rose. Man, he was a bitch ass nigga too. East side nigga, man. Never went to school. Gave a bitch blue. Nigga was a hoe ass nigga, dog. But at least he was an admitted hoe ass nigga. So I used to be a fire marshal. So we going around doing these inspections and shit. So we going around inspecting shit. And he on this like 2011, 12, kind of like when phones really started like really popping off with the internet shit. This nigga had some motherfucking, he got something from a bitch. So these niggas used to have bitches come up to the job and they used to crack these holes in the fire hall. So he said he gave the chick, and there was another dude I worked with. He was married. He used to be buying pussy too. And he gave the bitch, the other dude, I was talking about Roseman, he gave the bitch $20 to fuck without a condom on. And I'm sitting there, so we driving around in a whip because we have to drive around and hit these motherfucking jockey pumps and valves and all this shit, you know, or you get fired and shit. We driving around and shit. He asking me about, you know, his symptoms and shit. He on WebMD on the phone. He asked me about his symptoms and shit. And he like, I'm like, nigga, I don't know what you got. And he told me like, yeah, had the bitch come up in the fire hall. I gave her an extra 20. I'm just like, bro, my mind was like, okay, if you gave her an extra 20 to fuck, how many other niggas that she maybe just liked and fuck without a condom, or how many niggas she gave that gave her a 20, not 100, not 250, not 300, an extra 20? I like, you deserve. And then the bitch he was fucking with, she just had a baby. I thought, man, I'm just letting you know, man, bitch, man, niggas nasty and bitches nasty, bro. But I appreciate y'all. Peace.
If I was talking, listen, if your dad was out here talking like I'm talking, I'd tell my son to fuck you up too.